Good day, good day, good day, fellow scientists. Hope you all are doing great. It's your favorite sensei here, fellow disciples. It's Sensei Mohao, and today we are dealing with question 4, 5, and 6. It's the remaining part of the junior exam question paper that we started recently. So if you have not yet watched the other previous lessons where I tackled question 1, question 2, question 3, mainly on solve for x, inequalities, and also on simultaneous equations, you can just go back to the recent videos and try to see how we deal with such kind of questions. So whenever you face them in the near future, in the future exams, November examination, you will be knowledgeable, you will know how to deal with them. Okay, so tell your friends to tell their friends, their cousin, that Sensei is back with a fresh lesson during these holidays. And yeah, just so the family will keep on growing and growing and growing. So now, here, let me find the pencil. So, on question 4, so what are the two things? So basically, like we did in the previous questions, we must first note down each and every thing. Write down everything first. So what do we know about this question? So the question says graph f of x sketched below. It's equals to, so this is the equation of this graph, 2x squared minus 2, and g of x, which is negative 2x plus 2. The graph of f intersects at x and a, b, or x-axis at a and b, and y-axis at c, and the graph of g intersects x-axis at b and y at d, and they intersect at h and b. So now, these are the point of intersection. It's the point of intersection between two graphs. I'm just gonna write POI, which is the point of intersection, and also it's also an x-intercept of both graphs. So it's, and here we have also x-intercept, and this is our y-intercept. So this is our turning point, and at the same time it's our y-intercept. So now whenever we do this first, basically after here we will know that what are this x and d, what are these coordinates, so that whenever we post. So now question A, so write down the coordinates of A and B. So what do we know? We know that question A and question B are, we know that question A and question B are the x-intercepts of both graphs. So for now, of graph of f, so let's just use graph of f for now. So now x-intercept, we know is this equation, 2x squared minus 2. So for the x-intercepts, we know that substitute 0 at y, 2x squared equals to 2. So here we know that how will we deal with this thing? So remember, since it's a quadratic equation and there are two values of x, we can still do this. I'm going to show you. So we can do this first. Take this to the other side, and we're gonna be left with this over 2 over 2, and it's gonna be x squared equals to 1. And because we know that it is an x squared, we just find the root, and x is equals to plus or minus 1. We can do this, or we can just factorize it. It's gonna be 2x squared. We know 2 is a common factor here. When we take out 2, we are left with here x minus x squared minus 1, sorry, then 2 x and x, x. For 1, we know that this is a division of 2 squared plus or minus 1. So now, whenever we did it like this, we know that here it stands for a, which is for the slope. That is a positive slope. And this thing is equals to 0. We know that 2 will never be equals to 0. Let me change the marker. And or x plus 1 equals to 0, or x minus 1 equals to 0. Basically, more or less the same thing. We're gonna take 1 to the other side, it becomes a negative, and here it will be 1. So you can see this is plus or minus 1, which is the other one is gonna give us 1, the other one is gonna be negative 1. So this is the shortcut, or this is just a long try, but then all of them give you the same answers. So now, one thing that students usually do, they do this right, and but then they don't write them down as coordinates. So remember that we are looking for coordinates here, so you must do them as coordinates, leave them in as coordinates. So a is gonna be which side? A is here on the negative side, so we assume that a is negative 1 and b is positive 1, like this. Then they're gonna give you marks for this and also this. Okay, so let's go to the next question. It says write down the coordinates of c. So C is the y-intercept, and also it's the turning point. So when it comes to C, remember that we can find the turning point by this equation. So remember that this constant value here, negative 2, it's the x-intercept. You can do that, or you can still do a longer method of substituting your x value as 0. So we know that C is 0 and negative 2. So you can still do this, still the same thing, 0 squared minus 2. You know that this is going to give you 0. 0 squared is multiplied by 2. In a number multiplied by 0, it's 0. Minus 2, your answer, y, will be negative 2, just like this. So this is the answer. I just used the formula. So question 3, find the coordinates of D. So coordinates of D is also the y-intercept of G. So easy marks, but the only thing that matters is writing them down as coordinates, because unless they said that write down the y value or the x value of point D, you leave them as this. So coordinates should be written in this way. So it's 0 and positive 2. So if EG is, find the length of EG, which is this dotted line here. If OF, this one here, it's half. So remember, we know that if OF here, it's half units. So remember, it's from the origin. So which means it takes half units, 0.5 units to get to OF. So which means the coordinates of OF is half is to 0, because of it's from the origin. So from the origin to OF, it's 0.5 units, basically half units. So we know that OF, or the coordinates of F, are half. So now remember, by virtue of this dotted line, you can see that G and E are on the same x value or x coordinate of it. What it's different here, it's only the y value, because of they're on two separate graphs. So now the value of x of F and G are equal. So the value of E and G x value are the same, because in a way it's more or less like a vertical line. It's a straight line like this, so it has the same y value like this, same y value. So now, which means we need to find the coordinates of E and G. But we have found the x-intercepts, we must find the all y-intercept. So it's easy, we can just do that by substituting in the formulas here. So G, it's a graph on f of x. So in the equation of f of x, x value we substitute with half squared minus 2. Let me just use the calculator. Half squared minus 2, the answer will get negative 3 over 2, which is negative 1,5, which you can see that here it's negative 2, 1,5 should be before that. So let's do for the one. So here it's negative 3 over 2. So we substitute. Oh yeah, I erased that. Dang it. So plus 2. So the value is 1. Yeah, the value is 1. So these are the coordinates of E and G first, because of, remember that whenever we're looking for the length or the distance of a particular line, we need to know the coordinates, because you know that the equation of the distance method, or it's like this: xg minus xe squared plus yg minus ye squared. It's like this. So this are the coordinates, x coordinates and y coordinates. So let's punch everything in the calculator since we know the coordinates. So here, because now we know that the x values are the same, x coordinates are the same. So basically, since it's a vertical line, it's a vertical line, it's a vertical line. So we know that the gradient x value is like half minus half all squared. You can see that this will cancel out and the answer will just be 0. So here we know that it's gonna be 0. In the calculator we can just only punch this. I'm gonna do it. It's g negative 3 over 2 negative 1 all squared. The answer is 5 root 2 units, which is 2,5 units. So now remember what other way we can use to find this. So since here we know it's 1,5 and here it's 1, so from 1,5, so from 1, negative, okay, so from 1,5 to the origin, or to the x-intercept, sorry, to the x-intercept, it's gonna be 0 to 1,5, which is 1,5 the length, and from 0 to 1, which is 1. So basically here we would have done this. It's more or less the same. 1,5 plus 1, the answer we will have found 2,5 units. So the only thing that was important here is finding this coordinates. So let me do this also. 0,5 minus 0,5 squared. Yeah, the flashlight just went off because battery is low. Don't worry about that. It is not a train smash. So you can see the coordinates are more or less the same, 2,50. So it was nice doing this lesson with you. And on the next video, I'm gonna do question 5, which is a hyperbola and a parabola. You can see parabola and a straight line graph, which is we're gonna sketch on the same axis, and also here more or less the same thing. We're gonna do reflection and range and domains. So it was nice doing the lesson with you. If you have not yet subscribed, please do the right thing and become my disciple. So sharp, the lesson ends here for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.